Okay, I'm making over this one of these lights again, and I am using this Dixie Belle bonding boss. Oh my goodness. I mean, it goes on so smooth. It's totally different from when I was painting that one and it was beading up. But I'm one-handed here, so I'm gonna shut this down. I wanted to come and show you just how easy that goes on. It does say you need to leave it setting for 24 hours before you paint it. Look at that. I'm impressed. I like it. I can already tell my paint is gonna have something to grab onto. All right, I'm gonna finish painting this so I can hang on to it properly and not with one hand. All right, it's the next day. This took 24 hours. I was supposed to leave it 24 hours before you put paint on it. And I just did one coat. And I brought two different colors of green. I bought English Ivy and Dixie Belle Weeping Willow. And I'm gonna use the Weeping Willow because I think if I wanted to leave this out, the Weeping Willow looks more everyday-ish, you know what I mean? And the English Ivy, I think if I put that on there, it'll look more Christmassy. So I've started, and I really like this color. It's looking really pretty, and it's covering really nice with that Dixie Belle bonding agent. And this won't come off. I mean, it will stick on there. I've got to go real careful around my candles because I'm going to do the candles also. I wanted to get this painted and let it dry, and then I'll start on my candles. All right, I was sitting here trying to figure out which one of these paints to use. I have a vintage white, an antique white by Apple Barrel, and an antique white by Ceramcoat. I think this here that I have painted, that was the antique white by Apple Barrel. Yeah, that's what it was. And that one I didn't try because they're pretty much about the same thing. And then this one is a vintage white, and that was here, which doesn't show up too much difference. This is just a brighter white, and I think I'm going to go with the vintage white. Yeah, I'm going to paint it the vintage white. So I'll have to cover up what I did here. Be very careful going around the bottom here. I'm going to just paint all three of these white and let them dry. Figure out how what else I'm going to do to the candles. Okay, I finished painting them, and now I'm just putting a coat of Mod Podge on. Trying to get it on heavy because I've got to go all the way around. I don't want any of it drying before I can shake on cinnamon. And I have some coffee grounds here and some instant coffee, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet. Probably just use the coffee grounds. I don't know. But I did stuff the inside of the candle part with some paper towels so it doesn't get down in there. And the coffee and the cinnamon. Trying to make sure I get the whole thing coated because I see spots on there I didn't get coated. I'm going to have to touch those up. But I'll go around all of it, all three candles, and then I'll go around touching them up. Now I'll sprinkle on my cinnamon. Trying to get the edge, trying to get in the middle is the hard part. I don't know if I missed that spot or I didn't get any, must not have got any glue on there. All right, I'm going to do the next one and do the touch-ups. And now I'm just gonna, they're pretty much dry, and I kind of took a soft brush and brushed it back a little bit. And I still have spots I've missed. I'm gonna go over it now with, I don't want to use that. That's my good Mod Podge. I had some poured out here, so if I get cinnamon in it, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go over the cinnamon with the Mod Podge, and then I think I'm gonna add some coffee grounds. All right, move that out of my way. And these are just coffee grounds. You can go however dark you want with them, or heavy or light as you want. And I don't know, this is instant coffee here. I think I'll go, but I'm gonna kind of grind it some. Oh, I went too heavy in that one spot. I was trying to grind it up with my fingers, make it a little finer. Okay. I'm gonna let that dry. Or actually, I think I'll hit it with a heat gun so I can kind of see what it looks like before I move on to the others. Still wet, but might as well just move on because that one's already done, and I'm probably not going to redo it if I don't like it. I'm just going to move on with the others and do those the same way. All right, I finished up all my candles, and they're dry and everything. And now I thought I got these. I showed them in one of my thrift hauls. I got them for, well, it says $2.95, but they were on 75% off, so a little bit of nothing again. And I'm going to put those down on there, see how they look. I'm liking it. Yep. They just fit too perfectly. And there's what they're looking like. And I went and found some of my bulbs that I had siliconed. Put the silicone on. And I have videos doing that. I'll try to find one and link it below if you haven't seen how I do those. This was using a little bit different of silicone, and it didn't work right. I done this one set and didn't do any more with that silicone. It was some that come in my husband had, and it was in a jar. It was for roofs or something. I don't know, but it stayed sticky for quite a while. But they've dried and they look fine. But that's how it turned out. Now I'm going to go plug them in and set them out and see how they look. Okay, before I get started on my last two Christmas projects, I wanted to show you what I was working on. If you watched my last two videos, you know I just bought a Falcon Pro 240-watt laser, and I'm learning how to use it. And I went into Creative Fabrica and I downloaded some earring patterns, and pretty much they cut out really good, I think. They look really good. It wasn't hard to do. I'm not good enough to show how I do it, but I got these done, and I got over here at work and at the shop or store and started working on these. The first two, I just put some antiquing wax on them. And I thought, well, that's boring, but I didn't have any paint. So I did have some alcohol inks. So I started putting alcohol inks on them. And I've got 1, 2 to finish up. And like I said, I think I'm gonna leave those just wood, because here's another pair I put some antique wax on. And it just kind of covers up the daisy pattern. So I'm gonna finish that one, and then I'm gonna put the rings on them and the hooks and sack them all up. I hope I have enough of the little sacks in this, or I'm gonna have to stop and make some in my Silhouette software if I don't. All right, here's a project that I started. Went out and cut my wood and was gonna do it and put it down in a sack somewhere, and I could not find them. I finally ran across them, and I'm gonna finish them up. And I believe this will be my last Christmas project for the year. In fact, it might be my last project for this year. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking it will be. Probably gonna take a small break next week through Christmas. And I don't know if I wanted that turn. I think I was gonna turn that up that way. Let me look at my thing I cut out with, yeah. Well, actually, I think those are about the same either way I go. I think I'm gonna just go up that way with it. Okay, now to start with, I took and base coated all of them with the Waverly Antiquing Wax. And I think they're dry. I think this side is drier. But which is the smoothest side? This one here. Let's do that one. But it is, I don't know if this is an actual 2x4, or I told my husband I need some 2x4s, and he went out and he cut some down for me. But it's almost 3 1/4 or 3/4 inch wide, and just a little over 3.5 inches tall. 3.5 would be fine. And then this one is 7 1/4, and these are 2x2s that I sliced down to size. That's, what did I say that was? 7 1/4, and this one's 8 1/2. And now I'm gonna give them just a coat on the top. And on the top one, I'm just going to use Plaster by Waverly. Stuff's curling. And I'm not gonna coat them all over. It's just gonna be more in the middle. Heavier coating in the middle. And then I'm sure I'll just stress it, sand it back some more. But I'll probably give that 2 coats. If this doesn't, no, it looks like it could be covering, but I'm gonna have to let it dry. And if I do give it 2 coats, it'll just be kind of here in the middle. And now I'm going to go on to my next color. I had to stop and get something to put my brush in so it doesn't dry out in case I need it again. And this one I'm going to do in Clover by Folk Art. And I'm going to do it the same way. And I have used my Silhouette to cut out a stencil. And you know, if you could freehand the tree like I'm going to put on it, and then you could use stamps or something for the rest of it if you don't have a Cameo or a Cricut or some kind of cutter, or you can freehand it also. Okay, that coat of the green. Now I am going to go to, this is Country Red by Americana. And I'm going to give it a coat the same way. Pretty sure this will dry darker. It won't look so bright. Now, I am going to hit these with my heat gun so I can speed up the process and see if any of them need another coat. Now I have put my stencils on. They're all on there except for this one Christmas tree with the tree. Very carefully pull that off. Okay. Now I'm going to stencil the tree on, and I'm using the same green that I used up here. I set my plate up and everything ran. And I'll probably go over this twice. And I went over everything twice, just right in the middle. It didn't need it too bad, but I went over it just a little bit. A little bit right in there. Okay, that's good. Let's pull it off. All right, I'll set that aside. And now I need some white, or my plaster. By Waverly. I don't want this running. If it does, I need it to go downhill. This is about gone, but I went to Walmart the other day and I got me another one. And I looked for antiquing wax, the Waverly antiquing wax, and they didn't have any. In fact, the plaster, I had to bend down and reach clear in the back and I found one. Seems like it's so hard to find stuff now. Okay, this one has Christmas on it. I'll just do it in white. I'm going to stencil this on real fast, and then I'll come back when I start to pull it off so you don't have to sit here and watch all of this. All right, I have that finished, ready to pull it off. I need my little weeding tool, if I can find it. All right. Now set that aside and we will do red for this one. No, I'm going to go white. I'm going to keep it white. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one, and I'll come back and show you how it looks. All right, I have it coated. weed it out. Just about every one of these have a spot that I need to weed. There we go. Now, I got a little green or a little white right in there. I'll just take my finger, cover it up. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. Move this out of my way. Get my finger sander. Probably need, I need a new pad. Okay, and then I'm just gonna distress this some around the edges. And I'm gonna do that on all of them, but I don't want you to have to sit here watch me do all of it, but I want to do some of it for you. I'll do this one. Down a little bit right in there. Now, if I had my brown wax here, I would go over it with some brown wax. Well, first I'd use my clear, which I may go ahead and do anyway, the clear, because I do have some of that here, but I left my brown wax at home. I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing the rest of this. And I may finish it tomorrow when I'm here and bring my brown wax. Okay, I didn't care for it. Well, it was okay, but I'm going to put my wax on it and maybe some embellishment. But I've already done this one on the corners, and I really like the way that looks better, and I kind of went through the middle just a little bit. I don't know if you can see the difference on the white. And now I'll do the country. Just taking the brown, mainly around the edges, smoothing it out. Get good in the corners. Smooth that out some. And then go over it a little bit in the center. I think that looks so much better. There's that one done. I'm going to do the white tree, or the white background with the green tree. Around the edges real good. Kind of feather it out some. And then in the middle some. Just give it a little aged look. Went a little heavy there. Okay, I like that much better. Now, what I think I'm going to do now is I might put a little something up here. I don't know. But I'm going to look. I brought a few things, and if I don't like it, I won't. But you'll see. All right, here's how it turned out in the end, and I'm glad I did add the dark wax to it. It made a big difference. And I also would like to take this time to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I really appreciate you all for watching, commenting, liking, sharing. And I'll probably be seeing you the first of the new year with another video. So until the next one, guys, we'll see you later. Merry Christmas.